Hi, we are Los Tres Mosqueteros and today we're gonna teach you how to solve a 3 times 3 equation system.
First of all, without math, no technology. Because with the technology, we have to study, to prove, to experiment, and of course, there are numbers. So, how can we use technology? First, all students, the calculator, the teachers, the Excel, for example. We have been using technology since, I don't know, a long ago. We have this machine with little balls that we can count. That is technology. We have our hands. That's not specific technology, but we create mechanisms to have the maths and to make it more easy. So nowadays, the technology are in the calculators, in the computers, in the iPad, in a phone. That can help us because the humans can be alone. The humans and the technology have a great relation. Without technology, no more maths, and without maths, no more technology. How math helps us in life? So, math are numbers, yes. You can think it helps us with 1 plus 1 is 2, and that's all. But really, how math can help us? We have to thank the math because without the math I couldn't stay right here and speak to you. The math gives us the logic, the coherence, and the order to say the things, to speak. Numbers have order, so we have order. Without maths, we can have numbers, and numbers are in chemistry, are in history, and of course in maths. In astronomy, we can see the astros, the planets, the stars. How long are we to the stars? We couldn't speak to our mother because without math, no numbers. So maths give us the logic, the coherence, and the order to live.
In this problem, a group of people is going to a camp. Between men, women, and children, there are 20 people. And we want to know how many women, men, and children are separate.
We have the X that are the man, the Y woman, and the Z the child. This is our principal equation. Now we have to order to have in the third line, in the third horizontal line, the Z that is 0. We can see there the results. The first column of our first matrix, that is A, the first column is 1, 1. The value of X in the first equation, principal equation, is 1, 1, 1. The coefficients, we're talking about coefficients. J is 1, 1, and 1. We can see in the principal equation. And for C is a 0 because in the third line we have 1, we have -3, and we have A, the second A matrix that has to be some equal from the first matrix. We repeat the X column, the Y column, and the Z column. And the first 2 columns have to repeat to have 5 columns. So we copy them and we make the lines, the diagonal lines from up to down, like we can see here, and we have to divide it in positives and negatives. The ones that go left to right are positives, the one that goes right to left are negatives. The operation, so we can see that the numbers that touch the lines are in the operations, are the multiplications of that numbers. We can see that 1, -3 and -1 are there like a multiplication, and we have to summarize to plus the other one lines that are diagonal. And now we can divide the negatives operations, that are the ones that go up to down, right to left. That we can how we can see is that the numbers 1, -3 and 1 are there, that we can see, and the 1, 1 and 0. So we close the operations with a parenthesis, and now we do the operation in parts. These 3 numbers make 1, these other 3 numbers make 3, and these 3 numbers make 0. These ones makes a 1, these ones makes a -3, and these ones makes a 0. We do the operations. 1 plus 3 are 4, and the ones below make -4. -1, -3 are -4. So we can see the signs. Minus and minus makes plus. 4 plus 4 makes 8. Our determinant. So now we go to make the x, to know what is the value of x. We make the matrix of x, and we don't put the column x because we want to get it. So the column of the operation of the principal equations is that one, 20 minus 0, 0 and -1, so we put it there like the column x. We repeat the y and the z like that we can the one that we make in the matrix, in the A matrix, to know the determinant. And we now do the operation like the other one. We use the determinant, we use the diagonal lines, the one that goes up to down, left to right, and right to left, the ones that we already do. And we now do the operation. We now put the 101 plus the next numbers plus operations. You can see that the operations give us a 3 and a -61. So if we make the operation, we have a 64, the determinant is 8, so we divide and we have 8. Children are 8. Now with the y, we have the y, we have to put the x column, we don't put the y, we put the z column, but the y column no, because we have to use the one that we use in the x column in the matrix of x. We repeat the 2 columns outside the matrix so we can do the operation, update horizontal lines. 20 minus 3 and minus 1, 1, 2 and 0, and like that. Is very simple. We have the operation. We can see the operation gives us 50, 59 and 3. So if we make the operation, we have a 56 divided by 8. We have a 7. So the women are 7. Now with C, we repeat the X column, the Y column, and the Z no, because we have to use the results, the column result of the principal equation. So we repeat the 2 columns, we do the operations, and then we put the diagonal lines, we make it, we put the numbers, the positive numbers, 1, 0, minus 1, and 1, 1, 1. Now the negative ones in a parentheses with the sign. Please use the sign, then don't confuse. Put the signs. Now with the result of the operation we have a 90, and the other one that is negative will have a minus 21, minus 1 minus make a plus, so 40 divided by 8 we have a 5. The 5 gives us the number of children. That's right. So X for men, Y for women, and Z for children. 8 men, 7 women, and 5 children. That's right. We have 20 people going to a trip. That's what's the principal result.